Hey everyone, I'm back, and I'm scratching my head like crazy too. Ugh, good grief. I can't get anything to lay right today. My hair is matching my Snuggie, evidently. Um, I was gonna cut this video, but I'll just keep going. Alright. Excuse me. Um, I was, talking to Jamie the other day, and he was talking about the advertisements they have online and on the TV for the new Windows 10. And they have advertisements with babies on it and everything. Well, he, is supposed to be my biggest supporter. He has not watched even. I doubt he has watched a dozen of my movies, my videos that I've done for you guys. um, there's this one particular baby that he liked on there that he laughs every time he sees it. So I found it on the computer today, and I put it as our backdrop. So when he's when he gets on the computer tonight to play his video games or whatever, or his computer games, or surf the web, or whatever he does on there, um, he'll see it and know that I was listening to him and paying attention, and I hope he'll appreciate it. I don't know. I did a little work to get it to work, so um, our computer was acting up. He got aggravated with it last night because it wasn't working right. He rebooted it a few times and finally gave up, and I've gotten aggravated last night and today with it not working. Um, this game that I really enjoyed decided it wanted to ban me, and I have no particular reason why they did that. Somebody got, I guess, I don't know if somebody got angry with me, but I wasn't doing anything. Um, or if maybe my account got hacked. I don't know. So I got rid of that program, and I'm thinking maybe that program might have been um, causing issues with the computer. Now I thought I uninstalled it, but it's looking like maybe I didn't, because what I tried to do was I tried to actually uninstall the program, and then I was going to reinstall it back, and I was going to just wipe it clean. I was going to start completely over and start a whole new game under a different screen name, different email address, everything. But I had to go online for it, and it didn't work right. So at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to stop playing the game that I enjoy, that I have fun with, that I didn't do to hurt anybody. I wasn't using real money. It was Casino RPG, and I don't know why they banned me. I was in the middle of doing a competition between my crew, which was just me. Um, Evidently, one of my old accounts had wound up being a member on there that I don't even use, and I don't know if that maybe was it because the names were so similar, but it was some weird thing that it wasn't supposed to be on there, and it was. Um, I don't know. But my crew was was battling another crew, and I thought I was doing pretty good. I had played the games, I was doing a pretty decent job, and then all of a sudden it told me I was banned. So, I think somebody got on and hacked one of my accounts, and that's why I got banned. I know you're supposed to only have one account, which when I signed up for it, there was a glitch, and I wound up with two accounts with two different email addresses. So, um, I don't know what happened there, and honestly, I'm just tired of it. So, I'm gonna have to find another casino type game that I like and see if I can get into that like I did this one. I liked this one because you could play all different ones. You could chat with people all over the world, and you could build your own casino. Although, um, I wasn't having much luck building my casino because you needed like a gazillion dollars to, it felt like, to start it. And I kept losing my money, and then you needed casino points to buy do things or buy things. I don't know. I just got aggravated with it. So I was just playing it like a game. I wasn't building a casino. Excuse me. I'm just yawning so bad this afternoon. It's not even funny. Um, I don't know. It's Wednesday, and I haven't really been up to much today. In fact, I actually had forgotten what we were going to have for dinner. I didn't even remember until I was just in the freezer getting something, and I looked, and I'm like, oh, I should pull out stuff for dinner tonight. What are we having again? It's like I have to come up with the ideas. Now, I don't want to sit and have, the same things every night. Like, what I mean by that is we're meat eaters. I mean, we are. I don't want to have, beef for 5 or 6 nights and then do chicken for 3 nights and then do pork for another 4 nights and then start all over. What I try to do generally is alternate. Like, I'll do, beef, chicken, pork. Sometimes if you want chicken again or if you want, I don't want the same thing every night in a row. Like, let's see, today's Wednesday. Um, and what do we have? I'm trying to think. Sunday? What did I make Sunday? Oh, Sunday we had pork ribs. Monday night we had beef and sausage. Um, beef, sausage, beans, peppers, onions, lettuce, tomato, uh, soft taco, salsa, burrito, something or another. And then last night we had I had bought these honey battered chicken tenders by I think it was Tyson, and we had those. And the only problem is I tried to make them into a wrap. Like I took the lettuce and tomato and some ketchup and some chicken things, and it was okay, but I think it would have been better to do it with the longer tenders for a wrap rather than those because while they're good, it just the consistency was off to me. But tonight, I think even though we had chicken last night, I pulled out these seasoned chicken leg quarters that we got at Kroger, and I guess we'll just bake those, roast those up, and have them for dinner. Or, it's quite possible that they'll defrost and we'll have them tomorrow. And tonight we'll just have like frozen burritos that we cook, obviously, or personal frozen pizzas. I really don't know what we're gonna have. I didn't even talk to Jamie about dinner tonight, and he'll eat whatever we get, whatever I pull out and we make. But I didn't ask him what he wanted. I just guess was thinking it, and I guess I had a dream, and I was thinking that I was planning a meal, and I had pulled the stuff out, and yeah, no, didn't happen. Going to the kitchen. Here it is, 3 o'clock-ish, and or it was like more like 2:36, I think it was. I was like, ooh, oh, I should pull that out for dinner. Now, to be honest with you, you can take the frozen leg quarters and start cooking them frozen. There's nothing against doing that, but it's better if you start with them when they're defrosted because if you cook them when they're frozen, a lot of times you're going to have more liquid coming off of them than if you cook them when they're defrosted. And when you cook them when they're frozen, sometimes you have to cook them longer, and you worry about one part getting overcooked while another part, is a little under. It's fine if you do that with a steak and a solid piece of meat, nothing with like bones and stuff, but you kind of just need to defrost it if you can. So, yeah, I'm having that. I don't know what we're gonna have with it. I hope it's something good. I mean, I can certainly plan something, but I'm not the only one having it. So if the other person wants something else with it, then excuse me, so be it. But yeah, I mean, it's not complicated tonight. It's just during the week, it's easier to have excuse me meals that take less time to prepare them than say a weekend when you have more time and you're home and you can devote more time to it. I love to cook and I love to come up with new ideas. I'm not always the best at executing them. Yeah, I guess I can't speak right today. I don't know. Joke on me. So, um, Yeah, I mean, I'm really just trying to learn new stuff to cook. I'm really trying to learn new methods, but sometimes the old standby, you bake something in the oven and you add a little bit of barbecue sauce to it, and there you got barbecued baked chicken, and usually tastes pretty good. And I even found this really good barbecue sauce that's sugar free. Unfortunately, it costs 3 to 4 times more than you'd pay for the stuff that does have sugar in it. Well, not always, because there's some brands that you can buy that are closer to the same price, but I mostly buy the cheap stuff. What I find stuff that I like, and I really don't have an expensive palate, so um oh, that's my brother trying to call me. I'll have to call him back later. He doesn't know that sometimes he calls and it's at a bad time, and right now I'm in the middle of a YouTube video, so it is a bad time. And if it's important, he'll leave me a message. Sometimes it's hard for me to, get him to understand if it's an emergency. An emergency means you're dying, you're bleeding, somebody's hurt, there's been an accident, something's happened to somebody, you're in a bad storm, something's, it's something terrible. Not, oh my gosh, I have something really important to tell you. I got a new tablet. Or, I got something important to tell you. I got a new cell phone. I'm changing my phone number. Oh, would you look at this character I found in this game that I really like? It's hard because my older brother suffers from mental illness, and I have to be understanding, which I try to be, and I love him, and I hope he knows that. But sometimes it's hard to let him know what's an emergency and what's not. It's hard to decipher what's urgent and what can wait. And you know what? To be honest with you, I have the same problem sometimes. I don't call someone and say it's an emergency, but like I get into the habit of trying to get hold of Jamie sometimes during the day. And I'll say something to him along the lines of, let's see, if I call him and I don't get him, and he doesn't call me back, or he doesn't um, answer his phone, usually I don't leave a voice message because 99% of the time he doesn't listen to his voicemails. It's weird. So one day when I actually was leaving him a voice message, I waited for his voicemail to play, and he had changed his voicemail slightly from what I had heard when he originally set it up. I was like, when did you change that? He's like, it's been like that for as long as I can remember. And it dawned on me, when you call somebody on a cell phone, okay, usually for Jamie, it's, hey, how are you? Or, hey, what's up, honey? Or something like that. Or, hello, well, no, it's, hey, what's up? What you need? Or something. Now, on his voicemail, he says hi. And sometimes if I'm not paying attention, if I hear him say hi, I know I got his voicemail and I hang up. So, yesterday, I needed to talk to him for something. I needed to reach him for something. So, I texted him. Now, he's got a Bluetooth headset that doesn't alert him when he has text messages. It only alerts him when he has phone calls. And if he's out of range, his phone will just, I guess it'll beep, or a light will flash. Mine does. Let's see. Right now I have a flashing light, and I have a missed call from my brother, and hopefully I remember to call him back today. But he didn't leave me a message, so it's probably not urgent. So, I texted him, Jamie, at work yesterday, on his personal phone. I said, I need to talk to you. Call me, or something like, I really need to talk to you, or I need to talk to you. Call me when you get a minute, or when you can. It's not an emergency. That way he knows that I want to speak to him, but I'm not going to be angry at him if he doesn't call me back right away. That it's a matter that we need to talk about. It's not life or death. It's not an emergency. Call me when you can. And he did. um, and then I called him a little bit later, and I didn't get him, and I was looking for something in the house because I was trying to make this dip that I wanted to have yesterday, with the leftover stuff from our burritos. Instead of making nachos, I did kind of like a reverse nacho thing. I did the refried beans, meat, peppers, and onions that was all mixed together. Then I added some salsa, and I wanted some olives, and we'd had them the night before, but I guess we used them all. So I added my lettuce and tomato, and I mixed it. Well, I set it in a bowl, like one of those Chinese food bowls, the rectangle ones, the takeout bowls. I put it in that, and then I grabbed another container and I put some tortilla chips, and I used the tortilla chips to eat the dip. And when I finished with it, that was good. But it only wasn't after I had already either finished or was almost finished did I get a message back from Jamie, because I had texted him after I couldn't reach him. He's like, "Nope, we used them all." Well, at that point, it didn't really matter. So I knew that if I have an emergency, I know what the route is to reach him. If I can't reach him on his phone, then he's got a work phone. If I can't reach him on the work phone, I either try the overhead, the main line to the store. Most of the times I get him if he's there. Otherwise, I have his boss's work phone number and direct line. And if I can't get him there, then I can get somebody to relay a message somehow. Now, occasionally he'll take a run and forget his phone, and if that's the case, then I'll just hear that. And if I text him sometimes and I don't hear back from him for a while, or I call his phone and I get nothing but voicemail, if it's not really that important, I don't worry about it. But there was a time, it was a few weeks back, and I got really freaked out because I was trying to reach him and I couldn't get him. And he had told me he wasn't feeling well with it. He was having issues with his stomach, so I was concerned. But what I was really concerned about was he has a tendency to forgetting to put things away. And the other day, well, several weeks back, I had come into the kitchen. It was around lunchtime, so it was around noon, 30, 12:30. He had gotten up and left for work at, was it 5:36, 6:30 ish, or something. Well, he made his sandwich, made his lunch. Now I've tried to get him to let me do it, and some days if I get up right before or when he's getting ready, I'll try to help him. But a lot of times I don't get up that early. Just being honest with you, I don't. So, he makes his sandwich. He grabs his lunch meat, his cheese, his mayo, the bread, everything. And usually if he's using the end of something like the cheese, he only pulls it out by the slice. The cheese or the meat, you'll see the empty container in the garbage. Well, this particular day, which he's done many times, he left the mayonnaise out on the counter. Well, when I came and saw it around 12, around noon 30ish, I think it was around that time. It might have been as late as 2:30, but I think I was closer to 12:30. Anyways, when I saw it on the counter, I opened it up, I felt it, I smelled it, but being that I'm lactose and dairy intolerant, I don't do mayo on anything, and I don't eat anything with it on it. I don't even care for the taste of it, to be honest with you, anymore. I used to have it back before I was having all these problems. Well, what I had thought had happened, and backing up just a little bit, the night before this incident happened, we had ordered takeout from Cracker Barrel, and he'd gotten some catfish and a couple other things. And he said the catfish was kind of disappointing. It was a little off tasting. I thought either A, he got food poisoning from the catfish, which I didn't have catfish. I had chicken, I think I had chicken tenders or something, and they really weren't that good. But they were packaged separately. Um, we had different sides. I had cornbread, he had biscuits. So we didn't have any of the same things to say, hey, you're getting something that I'm maybe we had the same thing and it was food poisoning. So I was like, well, maybe that could have been a case. I was worried about that. Then I got to thinking about the mayo, the the bad mayo. I thought he was like he had what was it? He had messaged me earlier or something, or I had talked to him earlier or somehow, and he wasn't feeling well at all. He said he felt really bad, and I was concerned that if it was really bad, that he was sick because of the mayo or the catfish, or could have been, he got a bad cup of coffee or something. So I was sitting here thinking, I had to ask him. I said, it was the next day after he had left the mayo out the day before, and the next day I was asking him. I said, "Well, have you had your lunch?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "Did you eat your sandwich?" And I think he said, "Yeah." He was trying to. I said, "What did you put on your?" I said, "What do you have on your sandwich?" And he told me the meat, the cheese, and that was it. And I'm like, "You didn't put any mayo on it?" "No, I grabbed the mustard this morning." So he never used the mayo, so therefore I could have ruled that out. And then I didn't hear from him for a while, and I tried to reach him, and something felt off. Like I had called his other work number, didn't get him. I was about to call the overhead, and I think he had gone to take a run and forgot his phone. But I was concerned because I was actually gonna, if I didn't get him, I was gonna talk to his boss and find out how he was looking, if he's okay, if he needed to go to the doctor, or if something's happened, because maybe he had an incident and they had to, maybe it could have been his appendix. Um, both of us have really bad digestive systems, and he brings home little bugs all the time. And this last one, I didn't really get, so I'm thankful for that. But, I thought it was some weird, like I said, I thought it was food poisoning. And I didn't question any of my cooking because I hadn't done anything. So it all worked out that it was just some little stomach bug, and a couple days feeling uncomfortable. He was okay. He still worked through it, but it was one of those things that I thought it apparent to keep trying to reach him, and I'd try like every half hour. I didn't try like call him once, hang up, call him again. I didn't do that, but over the course of several hours I tried, and then I starting to get worried. But it turned out he was okay. He was just I think he left his phone back at the shop, and he went to go do some deliveries. He delivers auto glass. So he came back and we talked, and he was feeling uncomfortable, but I never got anything off of that, and he didn't feel sick. And when he did get home that night, he threw the mayonnaise away, the jar that I had put back in the fridge, but I didn't put it back in the fridge without saying something to him. And I made a joke that I was going to go to Sam's Club, Costco's, BJ's, whatever those warehouse stores, and I was going to buy a box of mayonnaise packets. That way we wouldn't have the problem because he'd pull out a package or two and the rest would stay in the fridge. Then if he didn't remember it, it was just getting rid of a couple packages of mayonnaise, not the whole jar. So what's funny is the week before, or the ending of the week before, we were at the store and they had mayonnaise on sale, and he picked it up, and I was like, or I asked him, I said, "Do you need mayo?" He says, "Well, not really." I said, "Okay, can it wait another week?" He says, "Yeah." So the next week, we bought mayo, and I should have bought it the week before, because then if the other one had gone bad, it was over half a container of mayonnaise, though. That had to get wasted. So, yeah, wasn't going to chance it after feeling bad after that. So, food safety is good, people. Follow instructions. However, I'm not going to use, if my mom said it was okay, you buy a package of, she bought some eggs at the commissary, and she either left them in her trunk in some bags of groceries, and she brought all the cold stuff and the frozen stuff in. She's having issues, had to have knee surgery. She's having issues with her knees and her hips. So What she does is she'll bring the cold stuff in and then let my dad and brother bring in the dry foods, the non-perishables and whatnot, stuff like that. She let them bring it in. Well, they bagged something wrong, and the eggs were left in her car overnight and then left out on the counter, I think, and she still used them. And I know, she said nobody got sick from them or anything, but I always be careful. Like that mayonnaise, he probably could have used it and he might have been fine, but I don't chance it. I'd rather spend an extra couple of bucks and know that he's going to be okay by getting a fresh bottle or jar than to let him have that and him get violently sick from it. So, okay, I've yammered on for 25 minutes, and you guys are probably tired of hearing of me, so I'm going to go for now. Thanks for listening, and... Oh, where's my mouse? Right over here. Bye.